lift off. And we can see that the Long March 7 white tank rocket roars to life, piercing through the morning sky in a short moment. And the orange, different from the white plume just now, it is now the orange plume at its base as the engines generate nearly 707 tons of thrust, lifting the 13-ton Tianzhou-9 on its journey to low Earth orbit.
So after liftoff, the first critical step will be the pitch over, which means that the direction of the flight will change from a vertical one to the eastward. And you know that's the Tiangong space station is orbiting the Earth at the altitude of about 400 kilometers with the inclination about 41 degrees. So it must go to the right direction.
And as the rocket climbs, it actually undergoes several critical steps. The four-side booster separate like petals falling away.
Yes, at about 170 seconds after liftoff.
And each has completed its job of giving the rocket, that is, when they separate and the initial push through Earth's atmosphere. It's like a firing bird from that angle.
Quite beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. So this is the infrared video image taken from the ground stations. So all the optical and the radars monitor the flight.
And moments later, the payload fairing will split open.
We still need to wait. So this is a video come from the camera mounted on the fuselage of the rocket, looking backwards. We can still see the four booster, two of the four boosters.
So the four boosters are still there?
Yeah. So it will be separated at about 173 seconds
after the launch.
Liftoff. Yeah.
After the launch, and I think it's nearly the time to separate those four boosters.
So that's the separation of the four boosters will be a very critical step. We heard the voice from the ground station that the tracking from the optical and radars are very normal.
So it goes on very smoothly.
Exactly. So the separation will be soon. We can see the flames of the. You can see the flame of the core stage and the four boosters. The core stage have two engines, which similar to the rocket engines used on the boosters.
Oh, this angle is very beautiful. So what's the speed at the moment?
It's already in a supersonic flow. Okay, the separation is perfect.
The four boosters are away now.
So then will be the separation of the first stage. Okay, the first stage also separated. Now you can see two of the four engines on the second stage. This engine is called YF-115 rocket engine. Each have a thrust of about 18 metric tons in vacuum condition. And it is very interesting. You can see two of the engines. One is fixed, and the other one can rotate in different directions to control the attitude of the rocket. Because you know that every time we have disturbance from outside, we need to stabilize the fuselage of the rocket and also change its direction to the right one. So we need the adjustment of the direction of the thrust. So with the rotation of the nozzles of the rocket engines, we can conduct this.
So it's the captain of the ship to decide the direction.
We don't have a captain because
right,
it's
unmanned. So
it's as you mentioned, it is autonomous one. So it's based on its onboard computer. And it is very interesting that, as I mentioned, we have four engines on the second stage. Two are fixed, and the other two can rotate. And the next step will be the separation of the payload fairings. Now, on the left of the screen, we can see the video inside the payload fairing. We can see some of the our Tianzhou-9 cargo spacecraft. And we will see the separation of the payload fairing soon.
So the fairing splits will fall away in two halves.
Exactly. So when the altitude is very high and the atmosphere density is low enough, so it will not do harm to the Tianzhou spacecraft. So at that moment, to save energy, we will not need the payload fairing. We will separate it.
So when it reaches at the current stage, has the ship reached the upper atmosphere already?
I believe at this moment it's already in outer space.
In outer space
we will,
already.
is above the common line. So we will separate the payload fairing soon.
So this is Tianzhou-9's first official exposure to the space?
After the separation of the payload fairing.
The payload fairing,
Yeah.
right.
So the wind will not threaten the safety of our
The
Tianzhou
protective
spacecraft.
shell
Yeah.
are no longer needed.
And you may notice, you can already see the background, the curve of the Earth's horizon.
And the
Very
astronauts in Tiangong actually are watching the launching process as well.
beautiful. Yes.
Why are they? Why are they watching that? What does it mean to them?
Because it's important for them.
I mean, apart from waiting for the payloads, of course, why are they watching
so
the
after
whole
several
process?
hours, the Tianzhou will reach the station and they will conduct a docking. So they will monitor that. And I believe that this signal is come from the CMG.
Right. It is.
Yes. It is very interesting. Several years before, your colleagues in the studio say hello to our Tiangong
Yes.
to astronauts. Mr. Jing Haipeng replied to her. Very, very interesting.
It seems as it's no longer a myth to communicate with space or with the astronauts
But
in
it is
space.
a one-way communication.
One-way
because they cannot
communication.
hurt your anchors. So, as I mentioned, the payload fairing will be separated soon. The light voice we heard is from the ground of the tracking. You may notice that the shape of the flame is quite different from the first stage because it's already in a vacuum condition. So the
Right.
flame, the shape is different from those in the atmosphere.
Everything's going on
The ground staff told
very
that the telemetry
smoothly.
comes
So
normal.
far, so good.
Yeah.
It's interesting that astronauts are really waiting for the delivery boy.
And their fresh food.
Fresh food,
Especially
and
the fruit.
training machines,
Yeah.
and all the experiment items.
Yeah. You know, as a
Which will make them
native
very
of
busy.
Inner Mongolia, you know that Mr. Wang Jie is the first taikonaut from Inner Mongolia. So I believe that Tianzhou-9 will bring some delicious food with, good for the Inner Mongolia people.
They must miss the food on Earth. I
Yeah.
bet that.
Yes. Especially the fresh vegetables and fresh fruit, they will be their favorite.
And about the food they are eating at Tiangong, are there any, the nutrition are
It's-
enough, but what about the flavor?
That's every time we have different crew, and every time the food is prepared dedicated for the certain astronauts. For instance, Jing Haipeng, our previous commander, he's from Shanxi province, and bring many vinegar for him. And also, that I believe this time we will have some Inner Mongolia food for Mr. Wang Jie.
Such as, what's
Maybe shawmai, maybe some noodles.
Mongolian shawmai is huge. I don't think they will send huge shawmais.
And the lamb in Mongolia is very perfect.
Lamb, of course, but it won't be fresh lamb.
Yeah.
That's a pity.
Still, you can see that on the Wenchang spacecraft launch site, it's still in dark, but with the spacecraft going eastward, you can now see the bright horizon of the Earth.
Right.
Very beautiful.
And we can see some Chinese characters on the screen. Second stage engine. So when will the core stage shut down and separate?
Well, it has two steps. First, as I meant, the fixed engines has already shut down.
Right.
And you may notice that the other one is still working, with the one with servo units which can rotate, and it will precisely adjust the direction and also make sure that the orbital parameters is accurate enough, and then it will shut down.
No flames now.
Great. You can see the nozzles of the Tianzhou spacecraft. And the next critical step will be the unfolding of the solar panels of our Tianzhou-9.
So all these steps are fully pre-programmed and monitored.
Yes.
By the China Space Tracking Network, of course, including...
Yes. Mainly controlled by the onboard computer of either our Long March 7 and our Tianzhou-9 spacecraft.
It's like a wanderer.
So this is a video still come from the camera mounted on the second core stage of our Tianzhou spacecraft, looking to the front.
And where will the core stage, stage end?
That's the second stage is in the same orbit of our Tianzhou spacecraft, so it will deorbit several days after this launch.
Okay.
You may notice that every time the China Manned Space Agency will announce the orbital parameters of the second stage, because you know that it will avoid any hazards to our ground properties.
Okay. And what will happen to Tianzhou-9 after it completes its mission?
Tianzhou-9 will conduct autonomous rendezvous and some orbital maneuvers to chasing up our Tiangong space station and dock to the rear docking port of our Tiangong spacecraft. You may notice that these moments, at this moment, Wenchang and Beijing is still in darkness, but our Tianzhou has already been in the sunshine area. You may see it's very bright now.
Right.
So you can see the background is the Earth.
And the Yuanwang class tracking ships out at sea are still monitoring it.
Exactly. So at this moment, our Yuanwang space tracking ship is in the Pacific Ocean, and we will monitor the critical step. Okay, the solar panels is unfolded.